Okay, Assalamualaikum, welcome back. So now we are going to look at a different topic, which is working capital management. Okay, working capital management. Oh, hold on. All right. So hold on. I don't want to use my headphone. Okay. So this one. Okay, connect. Okay, all right. Good. All right. So can you hear me? Can you hear my voice? Right. Excuse me. All right. Okay. So we'll continue on working capital management. All right. So topics in the chapter. Okay. First one is alternative current operating assets, investment and financing policies. Okay. Current operating assets. All right. And then cash, inventory, and account receivable management, account payable management, short-term financing, bank loans, their costs, and commercial papers. All right. So this is your free cash flow. So we have the weighted average of cost of capital, WACC. This is a cost of debt, cost of equity, firm debt, equity mix, firm business space, market interest rate, and risk aversion. Now, under our, we call it operating, okay, operating costs here, okay, operating costs and taxes, we have to less with required investment in operating capital. Okay, this is the part where we want to see, okay, before the free cash flow. So this is what we call working capital management. Okay, working capital management. So basic definition, working capital is total current assets used in operation. And when we talk about net working capital, is current asset minus current liabilities. So this is net working capital. And then when we talk about net operating working capital and NOWC, basically we look at operating capital asset minus operating current liabilities. We get equal to cash plus inventory plus account receivable minus accruals plus account payable. Okay, so this is net operating working capital. And then working capital management is include both establishing working capital policy, then the day-to-day control of cash, inventories, receivables, accruals, and account payable. So 5 things that here. Okay, 5 things. Okay, I will highlight this. Okay, control of cash. Okay, the 5 things. Right? So number 1, control of cash. Number 2, control of inventories. Number 3, the receivable. Right? This is your operating assets, current assets. Okay, this is current liabilities. Okay, for accruals and account payables. So working capital policy is actually the level of each current asset and how current assets are financed. Okay. Now this is the selected ratios of SKI, compared to the industry. Okay, this is name of company. Current, okay, current is actually 1.75, industry is 2.25. So this is current ratio. This is quick ratio. Okay, do you remember what is current ratio? Okay, current ratio is actually current asset over current liability. Okay. Right? What is quick ratio? Current asset minus inventory over with current liability. Okay, for the current ratio, the higher the better, higher than 1, supposedly higher than 1, better. But in some cases, for example, if you are looking at Ottman Z-score, they say 2 is better, right? Or Buffet says 2 is better. The quick ratio is actually when we have to minus inventory, when you have to minus inventory, so that you will have the liquid assets only. Okay, liquid asset, because inventory is less liquid. It's very, very difficult to convert inventory, especially when it's actually a work in progress, right? So here, the inventory is quite, the quick ratio is very low, okay? So when it's below than 1, it's saying that when it's current liabilities, when its short-term obligation comes due, you can actually pay your short-term obligations. Then we have these TL over assets, okay? TL over assets, which is for SKI is 50%. This is 50%. Turnover of cash is 16.67. This is 22.2. DSO, okay, 335 days per year. 45.6, that is 32. Inventory turnover 6, this is 8. Fixed asset turnover 7.75, 13.22. Total asset turnover 2.083. Profit margin 2.07, 3.5. Return on equity 10.45, this is 21. Payable deferral 30 and it's 30. Okay, some of the ratios for the company is better than industry, but some of the ratios is actually less performing compared to the industry, especially if you are looking at the turnovers, okay, the fixed asset turnovers, the total asset turnovers, the profit margin, the return on equity, and so on. All right. How does SKI working capital policy compare with the industry? Working capital policy is reflected in a firm current ratio, quick ratio, turnover of cash and securities, and inventory turnover, and a DSO. So this ratio indicates SKI as large amount of working capital relative to its level of sales. Thus, SKI is following a relaxed policy. Is SKI inefficient or just conservative? A relaxed policy may be appropriate if it reduces risk more than profitability. However, SKI is much less profitable than the average firm in the industry. This suggests that the company is probably has excessive working capital. Okay, has excessive working capital. Okay, now let's look at cash conversion cycle, CCC. Okay, the cash conversion cycle. Okay, I'll just write here. Okay, CCC. All right, focus on time between payment made for the materials and labor and payment received from sales. For example, here if you have the inventory conversion period plus the average collection period minus payable different periods. Okay, all right. So that is CCC. Okay, how many days do you need to convert a product and then for you to be able to receive the money from your customers? Example here, okay, data, annual sales is 660,000. Okay, the cost of goods sold over sales is 90%, right? Inventory turnover equal to sales over inventory equal to 6. Inventory is equal to 660,000 divided by 6 equal to 110,000. Cost of goods sold equal to 0.9. Okay, this is 90%. Over 660 is equal to 594,000. So inventory conversion equal to 110,000 over 594,000 divided by 365. It is actually 67.6 days. This is how many days that you need to convert your inventory to money. Okay, all right. So inventory conversion period is 67.6 plus days sales outstanding 45.6 minus 30 days payable deferral period. So altogether, your CCC is 83.2 days. So 83.2 days, you will have this like no money, okay, no money, all right? So once you buy the product, your raw material, you need 83.2 days, then only you will get your money back, okay? So cash management, cash doesn't earn interest, so why hold it? So transaction routine must have some cash to pay current bills. Transaction, precaution, safety stock, but lessened by credit line and marketable securities, compensating balance for loans and or service provided. Essential that the firm has sufficient cash to take trade discounts. Okay, because when you buy using cash, you will have normally cash discount. Okay. What's the goal of cash management? To minimize the cash amount the firm must hold conducting its normal business activities, yet at the same time have a sufficient cash reserve to take the trade discounts, pay promptly, and maintain its credit rating, and meet any unexpected cash needs. Okay, you don't want to have too many cash in your what you call it, in your bank. Okay, so you need to have that cash to be converted, okay, into something which is productive, so that you will enable to get profit. So ways to minimize cash holding: use lockboxes, insist on wire transfer or automatic debit from customer, synchronize inflows and outflows, and use float. Okay, sorry, right? This is not banks. Okay, this actually you maintain the cash, okay, on hand. Okay, so how to minimize? Use lockboxes. This is also not preferable. Okay, because last time when I have some cases whereby the cash has kept in the we call it the safety box. Now, but the thief have come and then break the safety box. So it's better to put your cash in the bank. So insist on wire transfer or automatic debit from customers, and then synchronize inflows and outflows and use float. Okay, use float. Okay, and then increase forecast accuracy to reduce the need for cash safety stock. Hold marketable securities instead of cash safety stock, and negotiate line of credit. Also reduce need for a safety stock. Line of credit is actually you get from your supplier. All right, cash budget, the primary tools for cash management tool. Okay, the purpose of cash budget is actually use forecast of cash inflows and also outflows and ending cash balance to predict whether you need to have loans and whether you have more fund that are idle, okay, that are not being invested, can be invested in short-term, what I call it, or temporary money market instruments. Okay, timing can be daily, weekly, or monthly, depending upon the budget purposes, and a monthly for annual planning, daily for actual cash management. Data required for cash budget is sales forecast, information on collection delay, forecast of purchases and payment term, forecast of cash expenses, for example, wages, taxes, utilities, and so on. And then you have to have initial cash on hand and a target cash balance. This is an example of cash budget. Right? You have cash inflows, the collections, purchases, minus purchases, then minus wages, rent. So total payments is actually 53,794. This minus this, you will get, okay, 13,857. Okay, so 67 minus 53. Okay, you bring it down 13,857 plus with the beginning cash. So you get 16,000. So minus the target cash, if you need to have the cash for next month, so you have surplus of cash of 15,357. So it goes on also the same for February. Okay, you have 62,000 collection. Okay, your total expenses will be, total payments will be 44,000, right? So you will have, we call it, the balance is actually 18,000, okay, and then the cumulative net cash flow is 35. How you get 35? With 15 plus with 18, you get 35. So minus with 1,500, so you get 33,669. So this is your surplus cash. So should the depreciation be explicitly included in cash budget? No, because depreciation is a non-cash charge. Only cash payment and receipts appear on cash budget. Okay, depreciation you must exclude. Okay. However, depreciation does affect taxes, which do appear in the cash budget. Okay. All right. So what are some other potential cash inflow besides collection? Proceeds from fixed asset sales, proceeds from stock and bond sales, interest earned, court settlements, and so on. Okay, how can interest earned on paid on short-term securities or loan be incorporated in the cash budget? Okay, interest earned outlined in the collection section. Interest paid outlined in the payment section. Okay, found as interest rate surplus loan line of cash budget for preceding month. Interest on other debt would need to be incorporated as well. Okay, how could bad debt be worked into cash budget? The collection would be reduced by the amount of bad debt losses, right? For example, if the firm had 3% bad debt losses, collection would total only 97% of sales. Lower collection would lead to lower surpluses and higher borrowing requirements. Correct. Okay. So cash budget forecasts the company cash holding to exceed targeted cash balance every month except for October and November. So cash budget indicates that the company probably is holding too much cash. Sorry. Okay, SCI could improve its EVA by either investing its excess cash in more productive asset or by paying out to the firm shareholders. All right. Okay. All right, so I'm not really I'm not feeling well now. So basically, we'll end the live session at the moment, and we'll continue afterwards.